Ian just breaking out the old Vulcan death grip or something there.
Well, hello, and welcome back to The Shallow Proclamation with myself, Thomas, and I'm joined by...
Myself, Paul.
There he is, with a couple of guitars in the background there, and a Tupperware. Yeah. We're in part 2 of The Aztecs, which is a story from the first series of Doctor Who. If you'd like to stay in the loop with these videos and join us on this journey, you can give us a cheeky subscribe in the little button below the video. But yeah, I think we should jump straight into it.
Now, I've just noticed it says at the top there, and I thought about this in the last episode, but I thought maybe I won't bring it up at this stage. It was just contains racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
Now I wonder whether this story, because obviously the actors playing the Aztecs are not sort of Mexican.
Right.
They're basically just British actors with RP accents and stuff. So I wonder how that would go down today.
Yeah.
She's a false goddess.
It's good that they're not attempting Mexican accents, isn't it?
It is. But you having said that, you just talking about someone attempting a Mexican accent in Doctor Who has reminded me of a future story. So we've got all that joy to come.
Oh no.
Comment below if you know what story I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, wasn't the first ever episode? Yeah, the first episode of An Unearthly Child had the same warning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was there what was in that episode that was controversial?
I don't think there was anything in that episode particularly. I wonder whether that just got put on that episode by mistake. But this is an interesting conversation, isn't it? That like the Doctor's saying they shouldn't have interfered. That human sacrifice is part of their tradition, their religion. Good to see, though, actually, here we're getting some Barbara, having said she was the sort of riding it out very well, I think it's realistic to see her struggling with it behind the scenes, away from the Aztecs.
Any moments like that where we see the characters being emotionally affected by what they've experienced are always welcome, I think, because sometimes it can seem a little bit like they're just going with the flow wherever in the universe and time the Doctor takes them. But you're absolutely right. I mean, culture shock to the max, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because in a way, the Doctor is still quite hard to relate to.
I mean, it was nice a moment ago. He was kind of saying, "I'm sorry for being so harsh with you." So there is that softening.
Yeah. He's like butter. When you get to know him, he melts a little bit.
Do you often get to know your butter?
Your enemy's weakness. Pick up your club.
Oh, crumbs.
Ian just breaking out the old Vulcan death grip or something there.
No, he said.
What is it with Ian and grabbing people by the neck?
Maybe he really just wants to be a masseuse.
Yeah. A masseuse that knocks people out.
Where do you go? For a walk.
Time travel masseuse. There's a series for you.
Dr. Masseuse. Like Dr. Seuss, but Dr. Masseuse.
I like it. The Sci-Fi Channel that make it.
He seeks an interview with you.
To what end?
He is interested in your father's
Job
work.
interview.
Does he know my name?
Remember the firm handshake?
Tell him I will... What better way to destroy your enemies than to let them destroy themselves?
Not seen Susan for a while.
No. If we had to wear onesies to present this show, what would they be?
I've actually got a onesie.
I will bring it
Oh,
to you
really?
after sunset,
Yeah.
if the gods are willing.
Oh, I don't see
Of what?
It's actually a TARDIS onesie.
At sunset, I have to meet another one.
Quite roomy. Bigger on the inside.
You are a die-hard Doctor Who fan. Now, Paul, we don't have to include this in the broadcast on YouTube if you don't want
Yes, I see.
if you don't want it to be public.
I'm
But
not ashamed.
I know his
And what weapon
someone
do
told me
you
the other
use?
day
Only my
that
hands.
you named
Might
your
strength
kids
lies in the
after
use of a
Doctor Who
spear or a
characters.
club.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
Dear.
Yeah, well, obviously there's Callum from the first episode,
Desire a victory.
Yes,
and
may I
Davros,
suggest that we,
it's little Davros.
He's got a little blue eye
And,
on his forehead.
And then there's my oldest one, the Master. No, it's true. My oldest two children are named after Doctor Who characters. Although my wife denies it. She definitely accepts that my oldest is named after a Doctor Who character, but she says the
Yeah.
second one isn't. She says she just liked the name from. She saw it somewhere else, and I'm like, nah.
A little horticulture might go
You,
a long way.
deep down, you know.
She knows. She knows deep down. She's lying to herself.
Yeah.
Right. Ian's trying to swat a fly.
Fatigue affect.
Paul McCartney's a bit perplexed.
He does look a bit like Paul
Got
McCartney, doesn't he?
He's got a lot on his mind. He's just thinking to himself, yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
Will give me victory.
Conceal yourself.
That's him
Yeah.
concealing himself.
That's it. Once again, this is the classic Doctor Who lack of peripheral vision for any character.
Yeah.
Ah, that shot. That's the shot that's used in
You're not allowed in here.
the Name of the Doctor. When Clara sees the Doctor going into the TARDIS, he turns back.
Right, I'll go, but
Clearly, they've lifted that from there, and Susan must have been photoshopped into that
Good.
clip because she's obviously not in that clip there. But I'm pretty sure that is the clip.
But he had
You
a
mean Clara
sort of-
was photoshopped?
No, because I think in the shot Clara is obviously there, and she says, "Don't choose that one." But I think he's going into the TARDIS, and I think Susan goes in just ahead of him.
Oh, I see.
I think I've not seen it for a while. I might be wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me. But she's obviously not in this shot, so I wonder whether they've taken a bit of Susan from one shot and a bit of the Doctor from another. Well, they've taken the Doctor from there. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Well, that's a good spot, man. Yeah. I
There is to be a contest
Forgotten about
between
that.
I feel like I actually feel like I've achieved something having noticed that.
We avoided only one of them
Yeah.
to command our army.
That has trained
Can you
for many
imagine
months.
the,
Yes, I have seen your servant defeat
you
him,
get
and
to
he's
sort
not
of
in
your
mortal combat.
70s and you sit
And see
down
that
and
it
people say,
remains
so
so."
what did you do with your life? And you might have someone in the room who designed a great work of architecture.
So kind of cured a great illness.
Yeah. Discovered Tutankhamun. And then you get to us and we'll say, well, we did watch through every episode of Doctor Who. I mean, it's something, isn't it?
To be honest, mate, I'd be very surprised if we're not on the Queen's Honours list next year.
contest begin.
Contributions to YouTube, British culture. We should put some music over this, like a slow dance tune, because it looks like they're just having a nice little bit of Careless Whisper or
It's
something.
like Careless Whisper.
I mean, given that he is just a chemistry teacher, Ian sort of holds his own pretty well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's not afraid for a scrap.
Well, he's certainly got good chemistry.
He's been scratched. Is that poison?
Oh, just showing the camera there. Look, I did get this injury for.
He was indeed scratched. See that tile on the floor moving there?
I was like, my aunt has that in her dining room.
A bit of lino on the floor or something. So what did you make of episode 2?
Yeah, fight scene was rubbish.
Trying to be positive, Thomas.
But
Be positive.
Other than that, that was harsh. But it was a good episode.
That bit of Barbara, like I said near the beginning, where you're beginning to see the reality of what it's like to actually take that on, that role, and be thrown into the middle of it. Because it would be a shocking thing to be thrown into the middle of in reality. Into this kind of slightly, well, at least parts of the civilization, very barbaric to the modern mind. So I think she rides that out very well. And I think also, I mean, I liked I mean, it's not really anything. If you'd watched the episode in the 60s, you obviously wouldn't have been excited about the bit where I was like, that's the clip from Name of the Doctor. But I liked that, seeing that. Because occasionally I've watched that and thought, I wonder where that comes from, but I've never bothered to like look it up. Because obviously I knew they must have taken it from a Hartnell episode and photoshopped him in somehow. But I think it was this one.
So it's looking like a lot of people think this is the definitive Hartnell story, because they chose of all the clips from the Hartnell era they could have chosen to put Clara into. They chose that one, so that's interesting.
It's a bit of a Susan-like episode. Would you say?
Yeah.
Not much Susan. She had a little bit in the seminary where she was reciting the things she learned, but nothing no heavy lifting for her really at the moment.
No, it does feel like she's been sidelined a little bit recently.
And have you noticed that this is another story where it's another one like Marco Polo where we don't have any sci-fi threat really?
That's true.
It's just a pure historical again. So we've just travelled back to the Aztec era and are living out the story that's going on. They're entwined in it and in a sense trying not to interfere. The Doctor's saying you mustn't interfere,
Pure, unadulterated history. Yeah.
Yeah. So good stuff though. Great. Any other thoughts to add, or should we wrap up there?
I think that's all I've got on that one, but yeah.
Great. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 2. Let us know what you thought down in the comments. Give us a like and subscribe. And as always, as we were heading towards the end of Series 1, do throw us any comments and questions when we think about our Series 1 review. That would be great. But until next time, take care and bye-bye.